Hello and very good evening and a warm welcome to ODA's YouTube session. So hello students, I hope all of you are doing well and you're fine. So with this note, we are going to start today's session, and today I am here to teach you about the rocks and minerals. But before moving ahead, I would also like to introduce our ODA class to all of you out there. So my dear students, the class which you are watching right now is a YouTube channel, right? In the YouTube channel, you are watching a YouTube session. But if you want to be the student of ODA family, where you will be learning every day with us, then you can enroll to our crash course program. So crash course is a 1 week of a combo course which has been exclusively designed for all the students out there. It's a 6 days of a course where you will be learning 6 chapters in 6 days with dual teachers of ODA class. So here you have a master teacher who is going to teach you in the live session, right? But after this session you don't have any kind of support. But in the case of crash course program, you will be having a dual teacher. So master teachers and mentor teachers are going to teach you together. So master teacher will be teaching in the live class, and for the post class support you will be having a personalized mentor teacher. So this personalized mentor teacher is going to guide you, will counsel you, will monitor your performance, will help you in solving your homework questions, and not only that, will also help you in the preparation for the test as well. Apart from all these, we also provide study materials to all of you. So all these amazing benefits are available in the crash course itself, but not in YouTube's live session. So my dear students, there are many students who have already availing these amazing benefits. So now it's your time that even you get enrolled here. To enroll, all you have to do is you have to tap onto the link that is there in the description box. So once you click to that link which is there, you can get yourself enrolled at just rupees 29, 39 or 149 according to your grades. Now I would also like to introduce myself. This is Nayaab. I am science master teacher here at ODA class. I am a postgraduate in biotechnology and I have more than 4 years of teaching experience. During this 4 years of journey, I have mentored more than 15,000 students like you. And if you can also be one among them, but only way is through the crash course program. So students, here today we will be learning about rocks and minerals. So but before moving ahead, I have a question for all of you out there. So this is an amazing, a beautiful structure which every Indian loves it. है ना? This is our Red Fort. So students, can you all type quickly in the comment section, what is Red Fort made up of? Which material? In the comment section. Great. Stone. Any specific name? Any specific names? That's a good answer. Rocks. Yes. So Red Fort is made up of sandstone. Okay? So let us do one more activity like this. So now you must have seen this amazing structure, Taj Mahal, right? This Taj Mahal, which is world famous, which is there in Agra, right students? So can you tell me what is Taj Mahal made up of? Which material? Which material, students? Very easy one. That's a good response from your end. This is made up of white marble. What are these? These are nothing but different forms of rocks. Anything which you see around yourself, which we see around us, whether it is our school building, whether it is our home building, or whether it is anything. Let's talk about this room as well. Okay? Even here, the walls are made up of rocks. They do have rocks in it, right? So students, rocks are very important in our life. Okay? We are wholly dependent on them. We are living properly. We have a proper structure. It is only because of the rock, and we also use it for our daily uses as well. Commercially, it is used very much. So today we will be learning about rocks and minerals, and first we'll try to define what is a rock. So can you all type in the comment section, students, what do you call rock in your language? What do you call rock in your language? In India, we have different languages, isn't it? And every language has one specific word for any specific substance. For example, in my language, we call rock as a patthar. Okay, so can you all type? Okay, that's great. I can see few responses. Ma'am, we also call patthar. That's great. Okay, so let us define this patthar or rock. What is this rock basically? It's a solid. It's a solid natural substance. It's a solid natural substance, students. Okay, it's a solid material. है ना? It doesn't flow. It's a hard solid material that is made up of minerals. A new term again, right students? A new term again, right? What is this term? This is mineral. To understand the role of mineral, I have another amazing picture with me. So students, can you see this image? Can you see this image? Yes. Can you name what is this? In the comment section, quickly. Can you name it? Great. Wonderful. Ma'am, these are bricks. But why am I showing this to you? The walls which are there, right? They are made up of bricks. So bricks are building blocks of wall. Right students? Do you agree that bricks are building blocks of wall? Those huge buildings are made up of these bricks. Similarly students, the rock is also made up of mineral. So students, these minerals are the chemical substances which are considered as building blocks of rocks. And children, each rock, I am talking about each and every single rock, that is made up of mixture. What do you mean by mixture? Mixture means combination of many things, right? So similarly students, each and every rock that is present on the earth is a mixture of one or more than rocks. I mean more minerals. One or more minerals. So most of the rocks are made up of many different types of minerals. Okay students? Clear? So what is a rock? A rock is a natural solid material or a solid substance that is made up of mineral. And mineral is a chemical substance, okay, which are considered as building blocks of a rock. And each and every rock that is there on our earth is made up of mixture of one or more minerals. So students, now let's move ahead and now let us try to learn different types of rocks. But before that, you can see this beautiful structure of our earth. है ना? So if all of you are wondering what is this, let me tell you. These are the layers of our earth. This beautiful image. These are the layers of our planet earth. So students, you must have studied in your lower classes about the different layers that our earth has. So we have basically three main layers: core, right, mantle and the crust. So this is basically inner core students. This is your inner core. This is your outer core. Okay? This is your mantle and this is your crust where we actually live. You know? This is your crust. So students, these layers play a vast role, very, very important role students. So talking about this layer, the crust. So it is this layer where you will find different types of rocks. Okay, this is that layer where you will find different types of rocks in the crust. So students, basically there are three types of rocks. There are three types of rocks. What are those students? They are igneous rock, sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks. So my dear students, always remember there are three main types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic, and they are named because of their origin, okay, on basis of how they are formed. Clear students? If you are finding it difficult to remember, then I will be giving you a trick. The trick is, it's a mnemonic actually. I saw monkey. Okay? So when I teach my students, they often prefer कि ma'am please give us a mnemonic here at ODA class. Okay? So I go with the mnemonics because it's quite easy for them to remember those things. So I stands for igneous, students, okay? And S stands for sedimentary, and monkeys M stands for metamorphic. So you can easily remember now that there are three types of rocks: igneous, sedimentary and metamorphic. So students, first let's learn about the igneous rocks. What do you mean by igneous? What do you mean by igneous? Have you heard this term before? Anywhere? Can you try to relate it? Yes, you can type it in comment section. Fire. Very good, students. So basically this word has been derived from the Latin language. That means fire. So students, the origin of the igneous rock is related to the fire. Students, the core of the earth is very hot. When I say core of the earth, it means this. This is very, very hot. And students, this core contains mixture of molten rocks and gases called magma. Okay? Gases called magma. And students, these igneous rocks are formed due to the cooling and hardening of magma. Very, very, very important. How are igneous rocks are formed? Igneous rocks are formed due to the cooling and hardening of magma. Magma is basically a hot red liquid. है ना? So when this magma cools down and it starts hardening, the igneous rocks are formed. So students, this magma, it gets pushed towards the surface of the earth. So basically it is present inside the earth. So this magma gets pushed upwards towards the earth surface of the earth, and because of the pressure inside, okay, this magma reaches onto the surface. Due to the pressure, it reaches to the surface. When this magma reaches to the surface, then this is called as lava. Okay, the flowing magma which you see, which erupts like anything, right students, that is called as lava. So students, basically on the surface it cools down, it forms a solid rock, and which is called as igneous rock. Very, very easy students, igneous is related to fire, isn't it? So basically inside the earth you will find a magma which is a hot liquid. Now this is, this magma reaches to the surface due to the enormous pressure. When it reaches to the surface, it is known as lava. When it starts cooling down, it starts hardening as well, which will form a solid structure that is nothing but your igneous rock. So students, now I am going to show you some examples of igneous rock. You will be shocked after hearing it. So let me show you the one example, that is granite. So you must have seen, and it might be there in some of your houses as well, right? So granite is formed when magma cools slowly under the surface of the earth. Okay? This is very important. Cools down slowly. Okay? Cools down slowly, then it forms a granite. And students, this granite is light in color and it is made up of different minerals. Okay? Minerals such as quartz. This is quartz. Okay? This is your feldspar. Okay? This is your feldspar. And this is your mica. So did you see students? Granite is a form of rock which is made up of mixture of more than one mineral. So the mixture here is quartz, feldspar and the mica. So students, the color of the granite is wholly dependent upon the content of its feldspar. Now, if all of you are wondering, ma'am, why feldspar? Because there are three different minerals. There is quartz, there is mica as well. But why only feldspar is responsible for the color of the granite? Because feldspar is the principal constituent. What do you mean by principal constituent? That means it is that component which is present in the larger amount. you can consider feldspar as the main component that is present in the granite. Clear, students? Now all of you know the uses as well. So small pieces of granite used to make foundation for the roads, buildings and etc. Okay? So now apart from granite, we also have a pumice. This is another type of igneous rock. So students, can you see this structure? How beautiful is it, right? I like this rock especially very much because of its structure. See, it has holes in it, right? It is also light in weight. So students, pumice has sponge-like structure, right? The structure is like a sponge, okay? And it also have lots of holes and they are very light in weight. Now, if all of you are wondering, why ma'am? Why pumice is light in weight? Because there are different rocks and usually rocks are heavy. It is because of its formation again. So how are pumice formed, students? These are formed when frothy lava. When I say frothy lava, that means a foamy one. A foamy one. See, whenever we take a hand wash or a soap, we take in our hands, when we start rubbing, we'll see that frothiness. Hai na? So similar to that, students, whenever this frothy lava cools down quickly, okay? When it comes in contact with water, it cools down quickly on the earth's surface. And the gases that are present, they remain trapped inside. Got it? So now they don't have any way to escape. That is the reason that pumice has holes in it. So these are the gases that has been trapped. Clear, students? How is this formed? Frothy lava comes in contact with water and cools down quickly. When it cools down quickly, students, then the gases remain trapped inside and a pumice is formed. And students, let me tell you, pumice is the only rock which can float in the water. Okay? Pumice is the only rock that floats in the water. That means the density of the pumice. The density of the pumice is lesser than water. Okay? The heaviness. Okay? Here in case of pumice, water is heavy comparatively to this pumice. So therefore, pumice is the only rock that floats in water. So now students, this pumice has a good type of advantage, I would say. Rather than using in making of buildings or roads, it is mostly used by dentists. So dentists use this powder pumice for polishing our teeth. So this is the pumice, students, and dentists use this powder to polish our teeth. Not only that, students, this is also used as body scrubber in our home. So you can just go check in your home, right? If you have this pumice, try putting in water, take in a bucket of water, you will see how pumice starts floating. Clear, students? So this was about the igneous rocks. Now let's move ahead and let us learn about the sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock. So the name itself says it is formed due to the sediments. Okay? When particles they settle down, right? When anything which settle down, which will form a layer at the bottom, those are the sediments. Something similar happens here, students. So basically, sediments are formed due to weathering. What do you mean by weathering? Okay? When these rocks, they break down into small particles and these rocks are carried by wind, that is your erosion. So there are two reasons for the formation of sedimentary rock. That is nothing but the weathering and the erosion. So students, here are the three steps that are involved in the formation of sedimentary rocks. So those three steps are deposition, compaction and cementation. So first, students, these rocks, they break down into smaller particles. So basically, sedimentary rocks are formed from the older rocks. So those older rocks, due to weathering, they break down into smaller rocks. है ना? You will find these rocks near the rivers, right? Near the rivers, and now this is carried by, है ना? So students, basically what happens, at the bottom of the water bodies, all these fragments sink. When I say fragments, these are the small rocks, pebbles, okay, gravels, all these small rocks, they sink in the water, okay, to the bottom, and they start forming a layer called sediment. So whenever river flows, it also carries those pebbles, gravels, okay, as all of you know that these are more in weight, right, they are heavy and they start sinking. When they start sinking, they start forming a layer at the bottom, and that is called as sediment. That is where the deposition starts taking place. The different small rocks, they start depositing. The next step is the compaction. The compaction name itself says where these small rocks, those small sediments, they start getting packed closely. Okay? They start getting packed closely. So here, as the layer of sediments builds up, the layer below, it gets squeezed. Okay? First layer, followed by second layer, followed by third layer, followed by fourth layer, followed by fifth layer, and so on. And as the layers start, the layer starts forming, it starts building. Okay? One layer will squeeze with another layer. Okay? All these layers starts getting squeezed, and then comes the final step, that is cementation. Now it is the fully packed layer. Cementation is nothing but like you can compare to, a glue. Okay? So similarly, the way I have two papers here, okay, let us consider this as first layer, second as two, this is the second layer, followed by so and so layers. Now these layers are get attached, they are get cemented with the help of minerals. The way I can use a glue to attach these two papers, similarly, in case of sedimentary rock formation, minerals play a role as a glue. So these layers are cemented together by minerals, and that is how a sedimentary rock is formed. So students, the most special thing about the sedimentary rocks is that they contain fossils. They contain fossils. What do you mean by fossil? These are the dead remains of, dead organism. So this is a sedimentary rock. I hope you can see a print of dead organism. This is a fish and this is of a prawn. Okay? So these are nothing but fossils. Okay students, so the speciality of sedimentary rock is that they are the only rocks that contains fossils. Okay, so this is how a sedimentary rock is formed. So students, moving ahead, let us see some examples of sedimentary rock. What are the examples, students? Here we go. The first example which I am going to give you is the limestone. Each and every one of us have heard it. We use it as well, right students? So how is this limestone formed, students? This limestone is made up of minerals calcite, the main mineral. It is made up of calcite, which is present in the shells of sea animals. Amazing again, amazing. When the sea animals die, students, when the sea animals die, okay, the shells sink in the bottom of the sea. And these shells, they start forming a layer. Again, they start getting squeezed and the mineral calcite will cement it. This is how a limestone is formed. Can you even imagine the limestone is made because of those sea shells, because of sea organism. It's a huge contribution from their end, right students? So this is how a limestone is formed. Students, this limestone is used in making of cement, glass and bricks. Yes, and do you know what? The chalk. The first thing that we hold, right, when we start learning, when we start writing is the chalk. Right students? That chalk is also one form of limestone. Got it? The chalk is also one form of limestone. Isn't it amazing, students? Right? I think this is the thing which is, which fascinates me a lot about the rocks and minerals, because we use these things in our daily, on daily basis, right? And their source and their origin is amazing. I mean, it's beautiful, right? So students, the next rock which we are going to learn is about the metamorphic rock. So metamorphic rock, what does this mean? I'm gonna show you an amazing GIF now, and you have to guess and tell me what is happening here. What is happening here? In the comment section right now. Yes? Can you recall, students? Can you recall what I'm trying to say? You have learnt about it in your lower classes as well. You can see how a beautiful butterfly is formed, how a tiny, the crawling one, right? The caterpillar turns into a beautiful butterfly, right students? This whole process where a caterpillar becomes a butterfly is a big transformation. It's a big change. It's a change in form, है ना? First it was caterpillar, ठीक है? It is its first form. Then later on it goes under certain stages and it turns into be a butterfly. It's a big change. A caterpillar is turning into a butterfly. This whole process is called as metamorphosis. Metamorphosis. What do you mean by metamorphosis, students? Metamorphosis is nothing but change in form. If all of you are wondering why is ma'am suddenly teaching us about the metamorphosis, let me tell you, this is how the metamorphic rocks are formed. They are formed due to the metamorphosis. Metamorphic basically means the changing form, and the metamorphic rocks is the result of the transformation of an existing rock. So an existing rock is transformed into a metamorphic rock. Yes, my dear students, you heard it right. The original form of metamorphic rock is the igneous and a sedimentary rock. Here, igneous and sedimentary rock are transformed into metamorphic rock. Clear, students? Metamorphic rock. It's a big change. Now the question arises, how are they formed? So students, igneous and sedimentary rock, when they are supplied with enormous heat, due to enormous heat and pressure, these rocks are transformed into metamorphic rocks. Clear, students? So the original rocks are igneous and sedimentary. They are transformed into metamorphic rocks due to heat and pressure. Very, very important. Very, very important, students. These are transformed into metamorphic rock due to heat and pressure. So students, let me give you a quick example about it. Marble. Can you recall Taj Mahal now? The second question which I asked all of you, Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is made up of marble, right? That is a metamorphic rock. So this marble is made from the limestone. Limestone is a sedimentary rock. Can you even imagine? A limestone is transformed into a beautiful marble just because of heat and pressure? Yes, it's a big change. It's a metamorphic rock. It is found in various colors, white being the most common. And students, this marble is usually used in making buildings and amazing structures and statues. So did you got to know how all these rocks are interconnected? So everything that you learned in this session is nothing but a rock cycle. So students, see, volcanic eruption, lava comes out due to the pressure, it reaches to the surface. When this lava cools down and hardens it, it starts forming igneous rock. Okay? Now when these igneous rocks, they break down into smaller sediments, they break down into smaller particles, they form a layer, right? And then they get squeezed and they are cemented, they will be sedimentary rock. Sediment will turn into sedimentary rock. When these igneous and sedimentary rock, right, they are due to the heat and pressure again, they turn into metamorphic rock. When these metamorphic rocks starts melting, it will again form a magma. followed by again the igneous rock. So students, what I mean to say is all these three types of rocks are interconnected. Igneous rock to the sedimentary rock, because sedimentary rock is formed because of the existing older rocks. Then when the heat and due to heat and pressure, these two rocks are transformed into metamorphic rock. So students, the main origin is this magma, the lava, the starting point. Okay? So students, in this session, you have learned how rocks and their forms are formed, right? You have learned different forms of rock. So yes, my dear students, if you want to learn some more things in detail, then make sure you're joining to Crash Course program. So I am telling you again and again because many students are already availing these benefits. So now it's your time that even you get enrolled to this course. So it's a week of program where you will be learning 6 chapters, 3 of maths and 3 of science with dual teachers of ODA class, with best master teachers and an amazing mentor teacher who is going to give you a complete post-class support with extra study materials as well. So students, every Monday we start this course and the enrollments have been already started. Due to limited seats, I don't want you all to miss this chance. All you have to do is you have to tap onto this link that is there in the description box. Tap onto the link and get yourself enrolled. And do not forget to download the ODA app and earn ODA coins from us. And my dear students, most importantly, do not forget to hit a like, share and subscribe our channel, and I'll be back again soon. Bye bye students.